Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Premiere Next. In this video you are going to get all the information related to the latest updates of the Testament, the story of Moses, a three-part Turkish docudrama titled Testament. The story of Moses was made by Karga 7 Productions. The documentary traces the great redemption story of Moses, seeing him transform from a persecuted and exiled individual to a noble prophet guiding his people to eternal life. With Israeli actor Ava Azulay playing Moses and English actor Charles Dance narrating, the docudrama tells its unique story by fusing expert testimony from biblical scholars and historians with dramatic reenactments. Even while Testament, the story of Moses explores Moses' inner life using his biblical story as inspiration. Some have questioned if the series is entirely faithful to the Bible because of the dramatic reenactments. In terms of adhering to the biblical account of events, the documentary series mostly follows the religious text, even though biblical academics and theologians have concurred that the story of Moses is not historically true. Storyline of the Testament. The story of Moses. Dramatic reenactments of the story of Moses and the Exodus are featured in the three-part Netflix documentary series Testament, the story of Moses. After Moses escapes into the land of Midian and meets Jethro and his wife Zipporah, Jethro's daughter, it recounts Moses' early years in the Pharaoh's court. Next are the 10 plagues upon Egypt when the new Pharaoh refuses to let God's people leave, the burning bush when God gives Moses his instructions, and the return to Egypt. For a short while, the Pharaoh yields, and the Hebrews depart from Egypt. However, the Pharaoh later has second thoughts, causing his army to perish in the Red Sea. Periodically, after the dramatic reenactments, leaders, intellectuals, and specialists from the Christian, Jewish, and Muslim communities offer commentary. Review updates of the Testament. The story of Moses. Moses comes out as a quiet, reserved, and tormented person, and I like that. The fact that he was a runaway for the majority of his life is not concealed. In addition, they feature his contacts with locals belonging to polytheistic tribes and other faiths, which are largely absent from other shows about biblical subjects. They respect the fact that reality is historically more varied and nuanced than merely the mythological tale. Had this been a program intended to convert viewers, it would have presented Moses in a more favorable light and restricted its focus to the monotheistic aspects of that historical narrative. However, in practice, they do precisely the opposite. I want to make it clear that this show is not in any way religious. Rather, it is objective and portrays everyone as having both good and negative qualities, which makes them relatable to real life. It even addresses big philosophical issues like why did God create evil in the first place? It presents God as a complex being, much like he is in the Hebrew Bible and in his complicated connection with Moses. In other words, they effectively bring this biblical tale to life, and the relationships between the principal players are, at least in my opinion, really believable. I suppose the only reason it's a little cliché is that it's a well-known narrative. That's my only criticism. It was successful for them to introduce a new historical viewpoint. I admire how they managed to make it feel so genuine and personal, even if it's in English and clearly tailored for a contemporary audience, meaning that not every detail is exact or occasionally exaggerated. If you are watching this video on YouTube, please click on the like button and subscribe to the channel for the latest updates related to upcoming movies and series.